Good morning, and thank you for joining me. Let's take a moment to share with others, and we'll be right back. All right. Good morning. We are starting. Let's our jokes. Rudder's got the jokes. Says back in my school days, I did very well in every subject except Greek mythology. Might say that class was my elbow. uh, that's interesting about the story of Achilles. The whole idea of the Achilles tendon foot is that when Achilles was born to, I forget what his mother's name was, but she was a Greek god. He went to the river Styx, and she grabbed him by the ankle, dipped him in the water, thinking it would make him impervious to any weapon. Sorry about all this. And so he did that, and he was impervious to every weapon except for the ankle where she grabbed him. Now, a smart person would have grabbed the other ankle, turned him around, and or at least picked him up and dipped his legs in the water too. But the other question begs to differ is that arm that she used to hold him, it become immortal or impervious to weapons? That's the difference between our God, who's real, and the Roman, the Greek God was either fake or demonic. Our God doesn't make mistakes. Speaking of which, that is one of the things that that transvestites try to justify. Oh, I'm just a woman in a guy's body, and God doesn't make mistakes. No, you're just a nut job. But we've been like, I don't want to hurt this guy's feelings. Not fooling anyone. But we've been like, all right, let's not. No, I'm not being mean, but I'm not accepting their lack of reality. I might say, look, I don't want to discuss this with you, but I'm not going to go, yeah, you're a girl in a guy's body. No, you're a nut job. It is, it is, I like I said, I don't want to be mean to anybody because you never win someone to, but you also don't win anybody by letting them accept a delusion. I think I'm going to start being blunt because being nice hasn't done anything. You know, I used to say, let your yay be yay and your nay be nay. No, I'll use tact. I won't be I won't be mean about it. I'll be blunt, but I won't be. I used to say, let your yay be yay and your nay be nay, and if you tell the truth at all times, you don't have to worry about it. And I remember um, there were people who absolutely could not sing. People would go, "Oh, you got a great voice. You just need to figure out what your genre is or stuff like that." And I'd stay quiet because I don't want to cause problems. But you know what? Some people could not sing. Unfortunately, my bass voice has gotten destroyed over the years. I used to be a member of a barbershop quartet. I could hold a tune. Not so much anymore. Motor skills are not as good as they used to be, so I can't play the banjo as well or the guitar as well. It is what it is. Rudder said, "How do you make an angry friend super angry? Put a cape on them." Now you're super angry. Carlos said, "A Pennsylvania man suing Smart Water for not making him smart." I would I would like to formally announce my lawsuit. All right. Well, today we are in Second Chronicle. We read man's assessment of the building of Solomon. Now, sometimes man's assessment is pretty close to what God's assessment is. But today we get to God's assessment. Let's get started. Father, we thank you so much for all that you do. Lord, you've saved us, healed us, day of redemption, given us your word so you tell us what to do, and you forgive us again when we fail to do it. I ask, dear Lord, that you would bless your word, study it, so that we can know better what we're supposed to do. Lord, give us the courage and the character to do tell us. We pray. Ask for. Speaking of that, I feel so hard today. Tell me to love my enemy. Failing so hard on that many times because I want to reach out and pay people back for what they're doing in my country. Sometimes I'm like, what I'm supposed to do. I don't know for sure how to love people. I'll try. But I in my flesh am gonna fix. I bring it. Love people through. Speaking of that, you know how you see in movies and stuff, and mental guy that talks to the guy with the oh, I love you. Uh, I saw that happen once at the Fit Ranch. There was a guy who was absolutely losing it, crashing out. Had the position on the director, and but I'm gonna grab the knife from the walked up and said, "I'm only I'm only offering it." The guy backed down, put the knife back. Things didn't problems. I really did break down and start crying. Director helped him deal with some of the issues. Any stories like that? That's the one. Let's get started. We are in.
And Solomon determined to build an house for the name of the Lord, and an house for his kingdom. And Solomon told out 70,010 men to bear burdens, and 80,000 to hew in the mountain, and 3,600 to oversee them. And Solomon sent to Huram the king of Tyre, saying, as thou didst deal with David my father, and didst send him cedars to build him an house to dwell therein, even so deal with me. Behold, I build an house to the name of the Lord my God, to dedicate it to him, and to burn before him sweet incense, and for the continual shewbread, and for the burnt offerings morning and evening, on the Sabbaths, and on the new moons, and on the solemn feast of the Lord our God. This is an ordinance for ever to Israel. And the house which I build is great, for great is our God above all gods. But who is able to build him an house, seeing the heaven and heaven of heavens cannot contain him? Who am I then, that I should build him an house, save only to burn sacrifice before him? Send me now therefore a man cunning to work in gold, and in silver, and in brass, and in iron, and in purple, and crimson, and blue, and that can skill to grave with the cunning men that are with me in Judah and in Jerusalem, whom David my father did provide. Send me also cedar trees, fir trees, and algum trees, out of Lebanon. For I know that thy servants can skill to cut timber in Lebanon. And behold, my servants shall be with thy servants, even to prepare me timber in abundance, for the house which I am about to build shall be wonderful great. And behold, I will give to thy servants, the hewers that cut timber, 20,000 measures of beaten wheat, and 20,000 measures of barley, and 20,000 baths of wine, and 20,000 baths of oil. Then Huram the king of Tyre answered in writing, which he sent to Solomon, Because the Lord hath loved his people, he hath made thee king over them. Huram.
Before we continue, I want to check this. I'm pretty sure the other says Hiram. This says Huram. Let's find out why they chapter. Remember, 2 Chronicles 11. Type that in chat. I believe we were in 1 Kings chapter 5. Yeah, see, this says Hiram. Let's look at the original. Okay, this is the Hebrew word Hiram. From 430. It is a different word. So the King James did a proper thing in translating two different words. That's Hiram. Oh, it's a different form of this word. That, and the second one is pronounced Kuram. And what that is. Now, some people would point that out and go, "Oh, see, there's a discrepancy between the two." No, one, they're both correct. One is the Syrian name. One is the Kuram or Huram here. The reason it looks like Kuram and looks like Huram is Huram. And the Syrians would say Hiram and say Huram. How do you put a how do you spell an H with a spit gargle in? How do you spell that? Chose to spell it with an H instead. Huram. But that's the discrepancy. is two different words. He both means and the fire. That is just something to point out that we would not have seen. That.
Said, moreover, Blessed be the Lord God of Israel, that made heaven and earth, who hath given to David the king a wise son, endued with prudence and understanding, that might build an house for the Lord, and an house for his kingdom. And now I have sent a cunning man, endued with understanding, of Huram my fathers, the son of a woman of the daughters of Dan. And his father was a man of Tyre, skillful to work in gold, and in silver, in brass, in iron, in stone, and in timber, in purple, in blue, and in fine linen, and in crimson, also to grave any manner of graving, and to find out every device which shall be put to him, with thy cunning men, and with the cunning men of my lord David thy father. Now therefore the wheat, and the barley, the oil, and the wine, which my lord hath spoken of, let him send unto his servants. And
Here's something to note that we didn't know until just now. So Solomon sent a messenger to Hiram and said, "Hey, I need some workers." Hiram said, "You know what? Not only am I going to send you a worker, I'm sending you one of my best guys. Not only that, but his mother was Jewish. He's sending back a half-Jewish. Father was Syrian and mother was." I wish nations got along like they did. But obviously, there's the Middle East has been radicalized, and who knows if they'll ever. Well, one day they're going to see, but it's late for. But we don't know when that day is. There could be God's plan, a revival of abandonment of Islam altogether. Never know, and it might be you or your children that actually spark that turn to Christ. Because here's something to note. This is off on a tangent. When you saw the gospel started in Israel, extended to Turkey, extended to the whole Roman Empire, and when they thought to go to the Orient, God said no. For the most part, I'm sending missionaries to Europe, North Africa. And so the gospel spread westward. And missionaries were sent from Europe all around the country, all around the world. Then the States was, and the United States became a powerhouse, started sending missionaries all around the world. Now, the places that are sending more missionaries than ever before is the Philippines or Asian countries, Orient. Why Australia never took off, I have no idea. But we'll leave that for somebody else in this. But it is gone from Israel westward that the main mission coming from. And the reason a lot of missionaries out of the Philippines, other Asian, because America gotten bad reputation in many countries. You can't go to Vietnam, really. You can't go to Cambodia, really. You can't go to these countries. But someone from the Philippines readily can. They can go into India far more likely than. And so we're seeing that gospel missionary mission being centralized further and further west you go around the globe, and they're just about back Israel. Only thing left are the Arab countries and the Persian. How cool would it be to outburst of Christianity in the Middle East that started sending missionaries throughout the world? I had a friend who was a missionary in Iraq at a few, someone who claimed to be a convert. Whether he was a plant or somebody got to him, look, if you're going to back with Islam, you have to kill this man. We don't know that yet. Iraqi law enforcement tight-lipped about it. They're not sharing it. They don't want it getting out that and murdered. I think it was reported in the news once. Not much. I pray for that man. Pray his wife finds. You could say he was the Charlie Kirk of Iraq. And who knows, maybe his martyr will be something. Genesis of the spark of a Bible rock. Because I pray every day that that man who took his life feels the pressure of the guilt, feels that nothing he does ever wash that guilt away till he's heard the gospel that Jesus Christ will. I hope someday he might be the of that.
We will cut wood out of Lebanon, as much as thou shalt need, and we will bring it to thee in floats by sea to Joppa, and thou shalt carry it up to Jerusalem. And Solomon numbered all the strangers that were in the land of Israel, after the numbering wherewith David his father had numbered them, and there were found 150,000 and 3,600. And he set 70,000 of them to be bearers of burdens, and 80,000 to be hewers in the mountain, and 3,600 overseers to set the people a work.
Now, the thing I'm taking away from this that wasn't other in First Kings was that the man who did a lot of the work was, we didn't know that before. It wasn't, and that's why challenge here. One is again mainly man's viewpoint. That's First and Second Kings. Mainly God's viewpoint, which. So there's that. We're done for the day. I'm gonna play out the music, and I don't know whether Bravo's got the description. We'll talk about what he said after we do the outro. I can't remember what I was supposed to talk about yesterday in the subscription side. It was something I was really upset about. So I think what we'll do is I'll bear really my soul at that point. We'll close out, talk about what Bravo has to say, private for. Okay, I do love that song, by the way. That song really fires me up, gets me to refocus on standing, not not giving up. Uh, there are times like what, this is as far as I want to go, and usually if a person's burnt out, one or two things. One, either they are focusing on themselves. What I just can't do anymore. And in that case, you going, all right, Lord, you take over. But at the same time, it could also mean if a person wearing themselves out is because nobody else is. We've got to be diligent. Number one, when we're the one working, that we don't take on the work, that we let the Lord work through. Won't won't tire. If we try to do it in ourselves, we're gonna get. Number two, we need to not rely on everybody to do the work so that we can relax. We need to step up to the plate when God calls us. But the person on the firing line doesn't wear themselves. They get that moment of. That's one of the things that happened to our soldiers in Vietnam was they were supposed to get R&R, but their R&R was cut short. Soldiers with talent were were valuable. They didn't want to let them go. Those guys, any of them, you know what? I'm never getting out of here. Take the quick way out. There are many soldiers in Vietnam that are injured, self-inflicted. They said, but the only way I'm getting out of here is shoot myself so that I can get that Purple Heart, so I can get on disability. Not because they wanted to be on disability, but they didn't want to be in Vietnam. I don't know how much of that went on in the Gulf War. I don't think so much. I'm sure there was the guy who lost everything. Mind went. But I think we're more diligent to be aware of that kind of thing. I don't know for sure though, because I haven't been involved with soldiers over 50. But I've met soldiers, Walter Reed. They didn't have that 1,000 yard stare of a veteran. They had the blank stare of someone who lost all. What was very cool is to see, because myself and with me, part of freerepublic.com. By the way, that's a place you should go, is public.com. Get a good positive side. I haven't been there for a month or two. I've got to go back. There are people there that are super patriot. Now there are a lot of Trump zealots there. What I mean by Trump zealots is that they think Trump is second coming Christ, and that you gotta weed through. But for the most part, it's conservative. Most of them are Christian. They've been around forever. But the Free Republic people and we would go to Walter Reed, visit the soldiers. One of the things I got to do, such a blessing, was at Christmas time and Thanksgiving, I would go there that day and I would tell them, look, I'm looking for soldiers who are ambulatory, that don't need any special treatment, that their family can't take it. You're welcome to my house. We had a female soldier and the joy on her face was priceless. He thought everybody had forgotten her. Really changed. Then there was a soldier, unfortunately, who had that blank, lost all hope. But I got to see a smile come as somebody cared for him about over Christmas. Only, unfortunately, it wasn't enough for him. It took his life a few. But we gave him that. That was a blessing to my heart. All right, so let's see what Rudder said. My wife's cousin is currently in Cambodia. He's been there for over 3 years now. That's awesome. A lot of American ESL jobs, English as a second language over in these countries, so they're getting an opportunity for gospel, which is awesome. But these Filipinos will go in there and go, nope, we're establishing a church, and don't take any nonsense. And they don't do it in a roundabout way. They're just flat out, I'm a missionary here establishing a church. Bravo said, here's something I saw that I found to be. Charlie Kirk died at 12:20. John 12:20. I'll read it from the. Jesus answered them, saying, hour is come that Son of glorified. For verily, verily, or truly, truly, I say unto you, except the corn of wheat fall into the ground and die, it abideth alone. But if it die, bringeth forth much fruit. He that loveth his life shall lose it, and he that hateth life, world, life eternal. And serve me, let him follow me. Where I am, there shall also and serve me, him will my Father honor. Of course, part of that is Christ is talking about himself, but it does lend itself very well, like Charlie Kirk. Now, I don't feel comfortable talking about Charlie Kirk as an individual because number one, I did say I didn't put much in what he did. I'm owning it. It seems like more and more I'm proved wrong about so many things that are my opinion, not the way. That's because I'm a knucklehead, but I'm owning it. There are people out there that like Candace Bergen, that grifter. Why anybody listens to is beyond me. That woman is now claiming that Israel uh, was behind everything because he was losing his support for it. You know, if I were a woman, I ever met Candace Owens, I would I would slap her. That woman caused so much problem. Israel did not do anything killing Charlie Kirk. It was the transgender uh, that did it was our acceptance of allowing those knuckleheads to because the rifle used was an old now 30 years ago that rifle probably would have been a pretty good rifle. Not today. If Israel wanted to take somebody out, they just have have their beeper blow up on them. They aren't going to go, hey, year old kid with a mental imbalance. We're going to hire you old old rifle to go up and shoot a man from 200 yards. Where we don't know if you're going to hit him or not. No, they would have something absolutely untraceable. It is people like Candace Owens causing fall for it, and the people who are repeating it. Number one, they're going to answer to God for their attitude, but they need to be. That's where it says answer not a fool unless you be like him. Somebody like Candace, you know what? I don't want to ever. Oh, speaking of people who've gone off the deep, you know what? Before I get into that, I'll put that behind the description. Charlie Kirk. That man did a lot more than I knew about. Because despite being online, despite his all he all he did accomplish, there was a lot I didn't know he did because he was a humble man. That's one of the things you'll never know about a humble man. How much great he actually did. Because they didn't do it for did it mainly like Charlie for the glorification. What's interesting, God says, glorify me, I'll glorify you. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to give you praise. What it means, his glory shine through you. God does not share his glory with it, but he lets his glory shine. Knows that. All right, I'm going to the paywall. I hope you guys can come, but I don't want to say anything. Oh, you know what? Because I didn't meet the criteria. I don't have a creator thing anymore. I'll have to wait till I get 30 hours. But I am going to